All right, guys, here is the last week of the cycle. We are in the test week. Okay, so this is the sixth week. We're going to look back and do some of those tests that we did 6 weeks ago. The first one for Monday, we're going to start off with the gymnastics benchmark. So if you guys remember this one, we did 5 minutes as max effort or as many strict pull-ups as possible. And then we're going to rest 5 minutes and do 5 minutes of max strict handstand push-ups. So everyone's going to probably be with different progressions. If you have done this one before, compare to June 10th, use the same progressions and try to just do the same ones and see if you can get more reps done within those 5 minute windows. If you're new to this, you're going to pick something that feels challenging and you should be able to do, like I would say, about 3 to 5 in a row in the beginning before you kind of start to fatigue. And that's the progression that I would choose. So it might be, for example, for strict pull-ups, it might be ring rows. If you are doing that, maybe definitely track the angle of which you do the ring rows so that you know next time how you do it. Same thing with the strict handstand push-ups. Maybe you're doing push-ups. So before you even get into dive bombers, a strict push-up and just working on that might be where you need to actually put your attention into. So goal of this is to really kind of test that upper body pulling and pushing capacity before we go into that workout, which is going to be a workout that we have done before, probably on a similar day. I think it was actually a Tuesday, June 10th there. We're going to do 3 rounds, 7 wall walks, 21 toes to bar, and then 30/24 cal bike. So this is a heavy midline workout, but from a gymnastic standpoint. So what I mean heavy is like these movements are challenging. Those wall walks are a big chunk of wall walks at once. And then trying to go into toes to bar, your core is already going to be a little bit shot. Plus that, and then going into the bike, that's going to add some fatigue going into that next round. So in these 15 minutes, I challenge you, see if you can get into that third round. If you guys have done this before, I would do the same progressions and try to see if you can get a better time. Or you could try to bump up the progression and see if you can match the time that you did last time or the number of reps that you did last time in the 15 minutes. So that's a couple of ways to kind of compare it to the previous attempt. Tuesday, we're going to test our back squat. So last week was 2 rep max. You have an idea kind of where that is. This week is a 1 rep max. We're going to go a little bit above that. Remember what the 1 rep max is. For you that are more newer to the program, I would say, again, like a brand new kind of 3 to 6 months into it, definitely just focus on the technique and the form. So what I mean by that is in these 25 minutes that you're building up to this 1 rep max, we don't want to necessarily get to a true 1 rep max because we haven't developed the skill of how to even like brace our body, get into those proper positions. So I would focus on just doing 7 sets of one single that's heavy, feels like maybe a 7 out of 10, but you know you can make that weight every single time. For those of you more experienced, again, probably like 6 months to a year or even more, then I'd say like you probably are more, I'd be more comfortable in you going into a heavier range because there is a skill involved when you get to 1 rep maxes. It's not only about strength, but it's all about like the coordination of everything kind of working together and knowing yourself of like, okay, when is it safe to push, when is it not safe to push, and those things, and those only come through experience. So I'd say if you're newer to the program, just take today as a day to just kind of be at that 7 out of 10 level. For those that are more experienced with this, then we can start to bump it up a little bit more. And again, if you are going to go into those heavier ranges, make sure you know how to dump the bar. So that means bail the bar behind you. We don't want to be bailing the bar in front. So when we get down to the bottom of the squat, you can't stand up. What are you going to do? So make sure you know what you're going to do in that moment. Practice bailing a little bit too as well if you haven't done it before. So 25 minutes is a good test of leg strength and overall body strength because everything needs to work together to be able to do this. So it's not just your legs, it's your core, it's your upper back. Everything is working in synchronous to be able to get this task done. So cool test of strength. And then we're going to go into the complete opposite end of the spectrum. We're going to test our endurance, our 1 mile run test. So this one is a 10-minute cap to finish this one. So if you can't necessarily run 1 mile in a row. Maybe today's goal is going to be just to do an 800-meter run. So you could run out to the intersection between Parkside and Weber. If you are going to do the 1 mile run, we're doing the 1 mile CFW run. So the CFW 1 mile, that's going to be up to that intersection. Then we're going to go up the bridge and then up till you hit that kind of, I always forget the name of it, but it's a glass cutting company there. So once you get to that point right in front of the building, there should be a sign to your left. That's when you're going to turn back and run back there. Just double check again. And if you're not sure, just follow someone that's probably ahead that can take you there. But that's a CFW mile. I know it's not exactly a mile there, but it's all good. Test it just like the last time. You want to see how you did last time and you want to compare it to this time. See if that run got better after doing some running throughout this program in these past 6 weeks. Going into Wednesday, we're going to be doing another conditioning test. This is an interval test. We've been doing a lot of intervals on Wednesdays there. This one I always like retesting. It's the benchmark's called the Ghost. It's 6 rounds. It's supposed to kind of mimic boxing. So like when you're going into the ring and you're going for a couple of rounds, you're off and on. So it's similar kind of workout. Probably look into the history of this workout. It's pretty cool. And I think one boxer actually invented this workout, but let's don't take that word for word, but it's a cool one to check out and a cool one to do and to see where your cardio is at. So this one is 6 rounds, 1 minute of rowing. You're going to measure calories for this, 1 minute of burpees, 1 minute of double unders, and a 1 minute rest. So we're not going all out in these rounds. We want to kind of save our pace because we only got 1 minute rest after doing 3 minutes of work. So we want to pace it in such a way that we can sustain for the 6 rounds. You could do that where aim to get 5 rounds as consistent as you can. And then that last round, you can kind of give it your all because you know you got longer than a 1 minute rest at the end because you're done. Some of you might be able to kind of try to get a little bit more every round. So it's going to be dependent on skill and how comfortable you are with doing that. So everyone is going to be at a different level. Today, if you have double unders, let's do them today because you have the skill to do them. If not, let's just keep it to single skips and try to measure that as your score this time. If you have done this in the past, the last time we did it was December 18th, 2024. So we didn't have our new app then. So you could look back on SugarWOD. If you were on that app, all your data should be saved on it, or if you transferred it over. If you're having trouble, just go back to SugarWOD, see what that was, and then input it on the new app here. Going into Thursday, we're going to do a couple benchmarks, a gymnastics benchmark. So in 15 minutes, I want you to figure out what your max dead hang time is. So hanging from a bar as long as you can. Let's figure out a max hollow hold for time and then a max freestanding handstand hold or handstand against the wall. Goal of this is to kind of test our core strength, grip strength, and our skill and balance with that handstand hold at the end. You don't have to do it in this order, but I would do it personally in this order for myself. I'd get the dead hang and the hollow holds out of the way, and then I'd go into the handstand hold last, but you can do it in another order as well. It's all good. And then our workout's going to be a nice, quick aerobic workout. We got a 15-minute workout here. So 6 cal bike, 12 step ups, 18 med ball twists and throws. So stand about 5 feet away from the wall. And we're going to use a 20-pound ball for the guys, 14 for the ladies. The goal of that is to be, I would do 9 on one side, 9 on the other side. And the goal is to get some rotation in with that spine there. Once Thursday's done, into our next day, Friday being our strength skill. So we're going to work on our squat clean today. We've been doing a lot of power cleans in this past cycle, really developing that force, that power, strength. And going into Friday, we're going to do our squat clean test. So every minute on the minute for 15 minutes, we're going to do 1 squat clean. So we want to build to a heavy squat clean across the 15 minutes. If you are, again, like I always say, if you're newer to these movements, it's probably not appropriate to go to a 1 rep max. If you are very familiar with it, you're comfortable with the movement and technique is there, then we can push it. For those of you probably newer to it, but maybe you want to push it a little more, maybe a hang squat clean would be more appropriate than going from the floor because there's a lot more positions to hit doing that today. And then our workout is going to tie into our strength skill. It's going to be grace. So this one's for time, 30 clean and jerks for time. Any style is cool. So you could power clean, squat clean, whatever you need to do. And then we're going to do a jerk to get that bar overhead. There's different ways to do this workout. Sometimes you've seen the classic way where it's you go shoulder to overhead. So once you catch it from the power position and then you go overhead, you could do it that way for today. Or you can split it up where you catch the clean, stand it up, and then redip and then go back up. So technically it would be done that way because that's how it's written. But I know that, again, from a CrossFit standpoint, we want to work on that barbell cycling and keep that technique going in that sense. You guys can do that as well for today's workout. The last time we did this was May 24th, so you can look back at that and see where you did. I would go into this with a goal number of reps to stick to. So like, for example, 5 reps per minute, they'll finish this workout in 6 minutes. So again, if you do 6 reps per minute, you're finishing in 5 minutes, and etc. So this gives you a little bit of a goal and a plan to stick to instead of just kind of going all out and then guessing kind of what happens. So I would go into it with a plan. You know, it's one movement and you know the number of reps, then just break it up, kind of like treat it like an EMOM in a way. Saturday, you'll find out once you get there. I'll just say that. Sunday, the workout, we got our partner workout for time. This one is it's kind of a split up workout, so you can break it up however you want, except for the run part of this. So we got 100 cal row, 80 dumbbell power clean and jerk, 60 sit-ups, 40 synchronized step-ups, and then 1,000-meter partner run. So we're going to do it 100-meter relay style. So one partner is going to run 100 meters, then the next partner is going to run 100 meters. And then you're just going to basically do that until you accumulate 1,000 meters total. Then just reverse what you did. Synchro step-ups, sit-ups, dumbbell power clean and jerk, and then 100 cal row. So this should be just mainly a aerobic workout today. We're not looking for like super heavy weights or anything like that. Just keep the heart rate consistent in this one and try to work for the whole workout or at least a full 30 minutes, depending on kind of where you finish at or if you're still working up to the 30-minute mark. But overall, good kind of sweaty one, get your body working, feeling accomplished on that Sunday, and then you got the rest of the day to look forward to going from there. So hopefully that was fun, guys. We're going to go into that next cycle, so stay tuned for that video. I'll go over the briefing of what the week will look like going into the next cycle. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and we'll see you guys next week for the next cycle.